What's up, Sagittarius? How are you guys? I hope this video finds you well. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. That's me. My name's Annie. Welcome to all those who resonate with the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, even Jupiter. We're going to do a little career and finances spread for you today. Lord help me, right? A lot of question marks going on with careers and jobs and finances. So if you're open to hearing these messages, for better or worse, I'm here to deliver them to you. Ultimately, you will always be in the driver's seat. It's up to you to come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind. I ask that you only take away the messages that resonate with you. Ooh, well, you got a victory coming out somewhere. Beautiful. Love seeing that. Ooh, with the lovers, too. Anyway, yeah, up to you. Only take away the messages that resonate. That would be my advice or guidance to you. Don't force anything to fit if it feels foreign or strange. It means it's probably not your message, probably not your energy I'm connecting with. Have faith that it's going out to some other Sagittarius that needs to hear it, or maybe a cross watcher, right? And particularly in matters of the heart, you have like love cards coming up. But anyway, I'm here to do career and finances, so that's what we're going to focus on. What else do I need to tell you here? Everything about this video down in the description box below, including the decks I'm using here today, as well as my social media channels. I'm the Intuitive Teacup on Facebook and Instagram, as well as .com. Check those out if you are at all interested. If you want to learn more about me, go right ahead. Yeah, that's about it. We're going to hop in a few more shuffles from my Saggies. You have Six of Wands twice. Amazing energy, strong, confident, courageous, a trailblazer, a milestone in your career. Very cool. I feel like there was something else I'm supposed to tell you, but I don't remember. So yeah, check out your love readings, check out your monthlies. We're going to hop in for Sagittarius, career, money, and finances. Although I'm distracted now, I'm like, there was something else I was supposed to say, and now I don't remember what it was. For Sagittarius, I don't know, maybe it'll come up in your reading. My computer here is a bit delayed. I can see like my movements are delayed, so I may have to pause you and like restart this. If that's the case, I'm so sorry. So, some sort of opportunity you regret or you feel like you missed out on regarding your money and finances, or it could be having to leave something or someone behind that you were very, what is the word? Conflicted. You were conflicted about moving towards it, but ultimately you knew you had to move on from it because it would have been healthy for your body, or it would have, or both. Could have positively impacted your income, your salary, your money, your pay grade. Perhaps it was a new job title, but it forced you to move out of town. There was something about movement and travel to get to the money or the paycheck or the salary, or just for your, I'm sort of getting like your spiritual growth, Sagittarius. You are the Knight of Wands, which frequently does involve change and travel and movement and seeking out new opportunities, new avenues that really, sort of like fill your cup, fill your bank account, but really that spark your interest, your curiosity, your imagination. Yeah, there was some sort of internship or independent work you were called to do. I am sort of getting away from people who were familiar. So it could have been you had to leave a group of friends behind. Maybe you moved away from your family. Maybe you left a relationship, particularly with a water sign. Because I hate to say it, you chose money over love. But so far, nothing in this really indicates to me that you made the wrong choice. It was just you. Yeah, it was actually the very natural order of progression of things. You went from the Page to the Knight to the Eight of Pentacles. There was some sort of skill or experience, craftsmanship, I heard, that you really needed to hone in on and become like the master of. You needed to perfect it. You needed to fine tune it as the Eight of Pentacles. But I am getting, this is probably a metaphor, but you alone in a room, kind of in the dark. I feel like more than anything, it means that you were away from, I just heard away from a fire sign. But yeah, I don't know if like the work environment you were in was very, it felt maybe, I don't know if suffocating is the right term. There was something that was intriguing or different or like innovative. It kind of shook things up. It was probably something different than what you were doing prior to that. Something about your window had a beautiful view. You looked over, it could have been in like the countryside or something, but I am sort of getting, Sagittarius, you were like away at like in like a little cabin or in a lake house or in, and it doesn't have to be that, but it was something you were away from other people to focus on your work. But within that, it was something so much deeper than just your work. You went through like a spiritual awakening, essentially. With all this earth energy, you had to reground yourself. Something about working with material goods. Again, craftsmanship. It could have been that you were literally like, sawing boards in half and doing some sort of, it could have been something physically demanding, but it's sort of like building, creative type, something with your hands, particularly if you're an artist that, the paintbrush or the pen or the whatever it is that you do. But for a lot of you, you were doing it alone. I don't know why. I'm just getting really strong isolation vibes here. And I think it does have to do with the fact that you had to leave somebody on pause or put something on pause. So here's another message with this. The King of Cups can sometimes be the employer because he or she, right? The king controls our source of income. If money is an energy, it's a currency, right? This person, this king, is about the streams of income being delivered to your cup. You made a choice to leave something behind that maybe was steady or stable income to pursue something that was, again, it was fated. It was destiny. It was much more in alignment with the path that you were supposed to go down. Some of you may be doctors or I heard dentists too, but again, I don't know why you would be alone in a room though. So maybe that's what you left behind. That makes more sense. It was something that was more, I'll say traditional for lack of a better term, that I think you decided to leave to pursue something again independently. Maybe you're starting your own business. Because you heard the spiritual calling. Some of you felt this sort of divine message that the time to wait is no longer. You felt I heard the hand of God, something reaching out and trying to draw you forward, pull you forward, almost like a breadcrumb trail. In a weird way, this actually was a divine blessing because it's almost like, and my cross watchers are not going to be happy, and I don't mean to make this about love. You had almost settled in a relationship that would have kept you, it's not so much trapped, it's just you would have put your own life on pause to make this relationship work. And I'm almost getting something about the finite amount of time. Spirit had to come in and sort of jostle you and shake you up. And I'm not getting a tower card here, but to this person you left, I'm getting it was more a tower vibe for them. Because this is you making that decision where you're very conflicted, but ultimately this person in the background is like sobbing. And it does have to do with, I just heard they're still waiting for you to return. Sagittarius. Good Lord. I feel like you guys get this message a lot. All right. And this could be your parent. This could be your brother. This could be an ex. I do think it's someone again, there was a conflict about you leaving them, so you still hold them in high regard. You appreciated their warmth. They were very empathic. They were a healer in a sense. So maybe that's what it was. It was almost like nourishing energy to be around this person. And it was almost like you needed a little hit of that medicine, this person's like warmth and kindness, to help raise your vibration. But ultimately, it was to set you down a new path that did cause a separation. Because here's the thing, Sagittarius, you were meant to go after something greater. And this has to do with your career. This has nothing to do with you guys kind of get slapped with that unfair title as like the player, right? The Knight of Wands. It wasn't that for most of you. It wasn't so much finding something better in terms of love. This was almost like an earth angel. But there were two people coming through here, both potentially water signs, though it doesn't have to be. One of them is being indicated to me more as like spirit, like God, your network of angels or ancestors, that kind of thing. Yeah, actually, you have multiple ancestors, multiple angels. It could even be your grandparents if they have passed. Something about they watch over you and they're trying to guide you. They're trying to guide you in the right direction, but they have trouble keeping your attention, Sagittarius. You're very determined, and in a sense, with all this earth energy in this spread, you're being depicted as being very set in your ways. And so something about a relationship was keeping you in the safety zone or stuck, but you were meant to go on to accomplish something more in your career before you maybe decided to settle down and commit yourself to a certain location or a certain person. I am getting absolute travel here. So even if travel just means a different part of the city, maybe, or a different part of the country, or maybe it was overseas, right? There's a lot of things here, but Spirit was trying to show you that if you essentially have faith and follow this breadcrumb trail, it positively is or will be impacting your money. There's movement in money and like finances by doing something more independently, like an entrepreneurship. I keep seeing someone writing or in an art studio where this actually makes sense to me now. There's something about when you do this task or hobby, particularly an artistic pursuit, you while away the hours, or I don't know if that's the right expression. Time flies when you're having fun. This doesn't feel like work because you're so dedicated to the task at hand. You're willing to keep going at it again and again until you get it right. I'm getting the metaphor of playing a record over and over and over again. So maybe some of you are musicians. So I guess why this is being related to me as being in the dark. It's like you wake up, you pick up the paintbrush, you start typing your novel, you pick up your guitar, right? And all of a sudden you notice like, oh, 12 hours have gone by and I'm sitting in a dark room. Like I should turn a light on. You're doing this by candlelight at night. This may be a job or a profession that I don't know what it would be, but it's something like you are most active in this at night. So again, my musicians, if you're putting on, concerts and performances frequently, at night in a bar or something about that is important. If you're an artist and you have like a showcase, it could be like a cocktail hour type, come and see my, displays or my creations or something about the night being quite important. And I'm also being called to say something about Capricorn. So you may have a strong Capricorn in your chart. You could be a cusper Sagittarius. I am getting something about you're waiting to see the results of something, or maybe you've put out job applications and you're waiting to hear back, but you're also waiting to see how this labor of love is going to impact you long term, because there's something about there's been a short-lived success. Something that you thought was going to launch you into the rest of your career, it feels like every now and then it drops off. Every now and then there's stagnancy. If you're starting social media, this and that, it's like, sometimes you gain 100 subscribers and then other times it falls off. There's something about mountains and molehills, or there's an inconsistency in the amount of money you gain or the return on the effort you're putting in. I'm just getting it's up and down. It's up and down. But because I'm telling you this, know that, again, something about divine timing here. You're meant to kind of go through waves of, it's like a learning curve. Yeah, it has something to do with you receiving downloads about trial and error, things that really worked and things that maybe didn't work out that time. Nothing is wasted here. All these are very intuitive hits you're feeling about how to perfect the skill so that it can go long term. These are really beautiful cards for a career spread. It's earth energy, that seed that will bloom and grow. Legacy, right? The King of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. They nurture the seed from its birth, from its inception, and that's how they create, essentially the empire or the kingdom or however you want to say it. But I heard some of you are looking for your king or your queen. So, okay, it may be that you're involved in a career or something that you're trying to make your career that spiritually is fulfilling. You enjoy the work, but I think you're getting lonely, Sagittarius. That's sort of what I get from that. You're missing an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. That could be a romantic partner, specifically an Aquarius. Although it could also indicate, again, family or something. I just heard you're missing your cat. Did you have to move away from your cat or your dog or your fish, your bird? A pet. You're missing a pet. Oh, and it could be that I'm sorry. It could be some of you recently lost a pet if you didn't move away from one. Oh, Sagittarius, I'm sorry. Or your horse for that matter. Yeah, there's a lot of animals coming up. So some of you could even be doing something where animals are involved. If you're a cartoonist, does your main cartoon or your comic strip or your animated feature, does it involve animals or something about the sound of animals on a music track? I just heard Pet Sounds. That's a Beach Boys album, right? Maybe some of you are listening to the Beach Boys, or I don't know. Yeah, I'm getting all these downloads about animals, deers, snakes, horses, yeah. Lizards, yeah, all these metaphors about animals and birds. Okay, something about that for some of you who you have a sixth sense about animals. Animals also, this is kind of a funny message, but it won't be for those who connect with it. Animals are a communicator for a lot of you. You spiritually have an understanding with wildlife. The archer, right? You go out in the woods, you're like the huntsman, the archer. So it makes sense. There's something about, and so with that, there's almost something about the game, the greatest game, or even that, it's like fishing and game, or something about being in the woods, or again in a cabin, or are you doing something that involves I'm kind of at a loss here. I don't know why I'm being led down this little side route. Something about the game. Here's the thing. It also has to do with taking aim in terms of your future. You guys seem like you've hit a bit of a crossroads, or not a crossroads, but a stalling point. It's like, I think I want to keep doing this, but you're just sort of having a blockage. Like maybe a crisis of faith, though that seems really extreme. I don't think I'd put it that way. It's just I think you're looking for signs along your path, like confirmations that you should keep going. And I think this is it. I think it's saying yes. Because, yeah, money's going to be good. It goes from the 8 of Pentacles to the 9. Self-made man, self-made woman, leading a very abundant, potentially affluent lifestyle. There's a tremendous sense of pride for all of the seeds that you've nurtured and grown. Maybe some of you have a green thumb. Maybe you're out in your garden. Maybe you're taking care of the animals or the wildlife around you, right? Maybe you're working in the garden. But I keep getting there's a sense of loneliness here. So even though I think if money isn't good now, I think it's going to steadily grow. I don't think it's going to come. You're not going to make it rain, right? It's not just going to open up the skies and it comes out of nowhere. Slowly but surely, the seed will grow and money will be consistently escalating or elevated, or your salary could potentially grow, or just new sources of income will find their way to you, potentially in like magical or unexpected ways. That's kind of a funny way of putting it, but yeah, there's a sense of loneliness, and it's very interesting. You're longing for someone, but there's other people you're not letting in. So you may have attention from other romantic suitors, but you're blocking them. You're not allowing them into your energy. And I am sort of getting you're saving yourself for one. You're saving yourself for maybe a Leo or a Scorpio, though it doesn't have to be. And so maybe you're already married. Okay, that could be too. If you had to leave someone behind to take a job opportunity, it could be that this whole idea of, oh no, like you can look but you can't touch. It might be because you're already committed to someone. And I don't really know why this is coming through, because I am reading for funds and money and career. But you do have a lot of kind of like undertones of a relationship issue going on here, Sagittarius. So yeah, you are at a crossroads with how to handle your money or what job to take at this point. You have other offers coming to you, but I'm getting that you're turning them down. You're declining them. So it could be that I don't know, maybe you've kind of just been like, throwing stuff at a wall and seeing what will stick. You may have just, applied to a mass amount of jobs just because maybe you were worried about future security. So I do think you have options. You have multiple people willing to fill your cup, your bank account, your heart even. It could be romantic offers if you're on like dating apps, but it's funny, you're putting the offers out there, you're putting the line out there to see what bites you get back, and you're getting bites back, but none of them meet your standards, or none of them are good enough, or there's something about you're putting up walls. King of Swords, some of you are writers and like philosophers. You're my philosophers of the zodiac, deep thinkers. That could be saying you're in your head too much. You're overthinking some things, and it's causing you a little bit of anxiety. Go spend time in nature. Go spend time with the animals, because that's very healing for you. That freedom, that sunlight, that oxygen, right? You're a fire sign. You need to be in your natural element, right? You can't keep a fire in the house, right? Like it'll burn the house down. That's it's like you have all this pent up it could be sexual type energy, but yeah, you have like this pent up frustration. You need to just like go out and release it. Some of you need to focus more on your body and your health routine, your diet, your exercise, specifically jogging. That would relieve a lot of you guys. Yeah, so under the King of Swords, you have Queen of Pentacles. And then you have the King of Cups. So yeah, you have a couple court cards here. And then there you are. Okay, King of Wands, whether you're male or female. It's that fire element I was looking for. So something about a team of 4, a collaborative project where there's a team of 4. The water sign you've left, though. The water sign isn't so much in the picture, but you still think about it. That could indicate a job you left that held a lot of creative potential, or a job that had something to do with like the psychic abilities or the psychic arts, or like spiritual arts, like crystal work and that whole kind of candle making. Yeah, there's something very like gypsy spiritual about that. It could be that you're trying to incorporate more of that skill or interest in your current job now in a more practical, logical way, because something about that, if that makes sense to any of you, the money wasn't there, and so that's why you had to put it on the back burner or leave it. But you still can't kind of take your mind off of it, right? Your mind still goes back to that of how to incorporate that into this new journey that you've gone on, which is very much focused on the tangible, like coins in your pocket. So it's almost like, okay, this is an interesting thing, but it's something about security breeds creativity. I think before you weren't in a place that felt stable in terms of maybe it was your home life, maybe it was the place you were living, maybe it was just not feeling like you had a firm grasp on life. There was something that was a little bit troublesome with this five. Ultimately, yeah, you went down some sort of spiritual path to, I am going to get your money and your assets in order. Once you feel like that's on lock, once you feel comfortable again financially, like you're not pinching pennies, that's when your mind can go back to incorporating this, either this water sign, maybe this was a business partnership, or again, something more creative or more spiritual, almost peppering what you already have with like the spice of whatever that sort of personal interest was, if that makes sense. I like that term. You pepper it with something. All right. Spices and herbs. Maybe that's something you were doing. Like, yeah, like energy work and energy clearing with like crystals and making little like witchy potions. That would make sense, Sagittarius, right? All right. So then let's look at that. Okay. Some of you are returning. Oh, I just heard you're returning to your love. Sagittarius, my heart just melted into a puddle. That's a double entendre. You're returning to the love of something that you had to leave behind. In terms of something creative, it could be something musical or something about the imagination. You may have had to cut yourself off from living in a dream world for a little bit because you had to go about something very practically. You may have had like a scare of having like no money in the bank and no resources, and all of a sudden you were like, holy shit, like, and I'm not predicting this, but there was, for you, Sagittarius, a sense of, if I lost my job tomorrow, I would be screwed. You had like some sort of wake-up call about, you need to go out and like get your shit together. Sorry, Sagittarius, I love you, but that's what this says to me. Here's the thing, you do. You absolutely do, right? Again, you have this victory card twice. So there's something about your security allows you to breed a lifestyle that is more creative. So this is saying to me, after you've accomplished some sort of milestone regarding your finances, maybe you get the dream job, or you get a job that puts you in some sort of position where you're not sweating it out paycheck to paycheck. There's a sense of accomplishment and pride in what you're doing. That allows you to either return to a collaboration with someone that you love, that could be business or romantic, but it also involves returning to a skill or a hobby, a creative endeavor, again, something very spiritual, and blending the cup of what you currently do versus what you're hoping to incorporate to essentially make this more interesting and cater to your natural skills and abilities. It's enhancing the product even more with something you're naturally good at. It's like your God-given talent. For a lot of you, it does involve being a light worker or a healer of some kind, being extremely empathetic and caring and kind to those who are going through a rough time, those who have a broken heart. Yeah, this could literally be your job, is that you help bring like healing medicine to the brokenhearted, to those who are in pain. You offer your empathy. Some of you could be doctors or nurses or healers, or for me, it's much more, as I was saying, something about getting grounded. Something about this job isn't as grounded as like a doctor or a lawyer or there's something a little bit more creative about the healing you do. You might work in art therapy or music therapy. Sorry about that. You ever just choke on your own air? I'm getting all choked up, Sagittarius. Just kidding. Yeah, you bring peace and harmony to whatever this relationship was. This could have been an internal struggle of feeling like you could have been like artistically constipated. Again, something about the blocking of something because it wasn't right. It wasn't quite time to revisit this person or this skill, or putting your creative pursuits on pause because, again, you had to get like your bank account straight. There's something about the sun is starting to shine. There's a dawning of a new day. Something about when the sun illuminates you, you're going to go back and fix whatever you can't take your mind off of. Something you had to leave behind in the past it's weighing heavily on you, but you heal it in a very beautiful way. This could just be a reconnection with someone from your past who maybe it was like your lifelong friend, and there was like there's like an awkward encounter or an awkward incident, or if you guys became business partners or collaborated together, there could have been like, oh, like, guys, this artistic differences, right? Like, especially if you're in a band, I could see that. It's not a lot of this speaks to me about ego, except some of you may have chosen to sever, maybe sever the band, sever the group to go off and do something independently. But as I noted a lot earlier, you miss the collaboration. You miss the people. There's something about being on your own. It was good for spiritual illumination. It was good for your spiritual enlightenment. But ultimately what I get is you need the warmth of other people to really vibe high, to feel like you're in your element. Yeah, I just keep getting over and over. There was something that you walked away from because you had to. I think it was the right thing at the right time. Again, it felt very like the divine was calling you out of your comfort zone, out of your shell, away from, maybe it was a toxic person, right? But either way, even if that's the case, I still think a lot of you are going back to fix it because maybe there's like a kick-ass collaboration between you guys. I mean, like I said, you have a lot of court cards. You have 3 kings and a queen. Does that mean something to you guys? 3 masculines and a feminine? Are you like the only daughter of a family where there's like 4 kids and you're surrounded by dudes, or the opposite, right? Do you have 2 brothers and a sister, or whatever it is? There's something about all these court cards working together. So it could involve multiple collaborations with multiple people. Something about this Water King stands out though, and I think for many reasons to me, because this is the one that you have some past baggage with. Something didn't go right here with potentially a water sign, or again, just like a creative, almost like psychic empath, someone like that, who potentially is emotionally manipulative, right? In a lower vibration, that can be the King of Cups too. But then you have all these court cards that are from the same deck, and something about that is important. So earth signs, air signs, and fire signs. You could have left this collaboration to go work with 2 other people, and maybe there were upset feelings like you chose someone else over them, right? Something about that is important here. Anyway, let's hop into this. Yeah, you're going to communicate with them, all of them. Particularly an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You have a divine pairing here. That could also represent your parents too. If this is like, this could be like a family reunion. If you have bad blood in your family, you could be fixing something like that. Or if that's your career, maybe you are a family counselor or helping people connect with, helping people connect with people. And that's a huge umbrella. That could be a lot of different jobs, but you may literally be involved in like technology advancements for helping people stay connected, especially during a time of quarantine, right? It's like your services are being called upon. Very interesting. Yeah, I'm getting you have a secret. You have a secret to tell someone. A secret to tell your mother or an earth sign, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Or, okay, there's potentially someone in this has to do with a relationship that you left that you have unsettled feelings about. This isn't for everyone, and I'm sorry, Sagittarius. I feel like I give you this message a lot. I'm doing my best to give you the messages that are here, but this one shows up in your spread all the time. You intuitively feel like there's someone in your life who you may have severed things off with, that at minimum you want to go back and heal. But I got to be honest, Sagittarius, for a lot of you, it's like you see them as the father of your children, or you see them as the future mother of your children. And maybe it is. Maybe this is a relationship that has ended even though you had kids and you started a family together. There's something about the secret about the wife, or the secret about the mother. The 10 of Pentacles, the legacy, the family card, then it's like the 2 of Cups and the Lovers. Yeah, like I can't make this up. So just so you're very clear about what the cards I'm getting from this, it has to do with fixing something. And again, this to me can be like the father or the husband, right? It can be the spiritual leader, father, Pope, something like that. It's for a lot of you have something is keeping you stuck, emotionally constipated, blocking your blessings because you're carrying around either resentment or the opposite, guilt maybe about some sort of relationship in the past. It could have been with your mother or a lover, right? With the Lovers card coming up, maybe you chose someone else, and it's just got to be real. Either you or your cross watcher, somebody feels like they chose the wrong person or didn't say something that they were supposed to say to someone when they could have, should have, would have. It's that type of energy. It's weighing heavily on you, so it's almost like you need to clear your karma, Sagittarius. What is this about? All right, so then 7 of Swords. I just heard the word smug. Yeah, you held back on a collaboration with someone. You chose your own path to success. You chose your own path to victory. Some of you may have like a brush with fame of public public acknowledgement, public endorsement. Your face may be on a poster, or you could be like a model, like the face of the company. Even I just heard face of like a dating app. So some of you might be models. That would make sense, Sagittarius. The beautiful Sagittarians, right? You fire signs. Yeah, there's something about you. I'm getting like you. This is such a weird message. You come back to your hometown, and it's reminding me of the plot of Just Friends. Have you guys seen that movie with Ryan Reynolds? He goes off to like Hollywood and becomes like a famous, is it musician or music producer? And then he goes home to like Jamie Palomino, right? The one who kept him in the friend zone, right? And there's all this like unspoken sexual tension, but it's something about when this isn't you, Sagittarius, but there's something about when he comes back to his hometown, right? Where he grew up, his roots, all this earth energy. When he goes back to his roots, ego and fame has sort of like blown up his head a little bit. And so he's a little bit cocky. He's a little bit smug. I think someone in this dynamic may have happened to someone in this dynamic, or it could just be cautioning you to check the ego, watch the ego if you are trying to revisit someone from the past and make peace with someone. Because you both have weird feelings about this. I'm not saying that you're in the wrong and they're in the clear. I'm not saying that at all. I am getting emotional manipulation from this person. Maybe that's why you stayed so long, and maybe that's why Spirit had to like come in and kind of rescue you and kind of shake your world up a little bit to get you to focus on yourself, to see yourself as very valuable, as very, it's just like Spirit wanted you to grow and thrive away from wherever you were kind of stuck. Because 5 is indicating some much needed change, like a spiritual awakening is needed here, because this person is living in the past. They're not living in the present. They're not looking ahead to their future. And something about that, it impacted your bank account. It was draining on your funds. So yeah, that does seem to be a priority for a lot of you, is sort of like an independent, like, I just keep wanting to say like a spiritual awakening that positively benefits you in terms of your monetary gain. Some of you may work, again, in like spiritual arts. But if that's the case, then you did leave behind a collaborator that could help you, particularly a water sign. It could be your sibling. Anyway, you achieve some sort of success or milestone on your own, but I keep getting that you have an aha moment of revisiting the past, and I am getting there's potentially a kick-ass collaboration, a meeting of the minds, two people who, maybe there were artistic differences, right? Maybe there were some not so choice words spoken. Maybe there was some arguments. Certainly there was some hurt feelings. You both are a victory. You both have tremendous sense of power, and I heard influence over people. So just think what you guys could do together. That's sort of what I'm getting from this, is like a business partnership that's long overdue. King of Wands, yeah, then it's like there's no stopping you. There's infinite growth. There's infinite possibility, and I am getting in the numbers and the data, in the statistics of what you guys are going to do. New subscribers, new followers, new clients, new vendors. Yeah, new people that, this is like my arts and entertainment type king. If you're a comedian or an actor or a musician, and there was a lot of that coming through, model, photographer, all that. The King of Wands is very dynamic. You can't take your eye off of him, right? He's a smug little bastard, though, isn't he? Like, he's cool and he knows it. And there's something kind of Sagittarian about this, but this is typically a Leo card, Aries, Leo, and Sag. So maybe that means something to someone. Maybe you had a falling out with a Leo because, yeah, maybe, no shade. I love my Leos, right? My best friend's a Leo, but there's something that's like they were really good at what they did, but they knew it, and there was something about that where you're like, girl, bye. You know what I mean? It was like, you better check yourself, because I can do good on my own. And here's the thing, Sagittarius. You can do good on your own. You're going to prove it to yourself if you don't know that already. But deep in your heart, what you desire is partnership, right? Make sure you're good on your own, because if this is romantic, it's almost like you needed to build yourself up to be more confident so that you could come into a relationship and not feel manipulated by those around you. You need to be grounded and stand on your own 2 feet, because, yeah, it's going to make you all the wiser, all the better in any future relationship, whether it's romantic or a business partnership. But you have beautiful things coming in, and I got to be honest, for most of my Sagittarians, it involves creative collaboration. So be open to meeting new people. I'm sort of getting like you're doing a whole Walden thing. Like, what is that? I almost said on Golden Pond. That's not what I mean. What is that? What is that Walden book? I don't know. You know what I mean. Or maybe you don't. Anyway, writing in a cabin all by yourself, that's great for your spiritual growth, but eventually, I'm just getting you're not going to last. You need human interaction. You need people around you. Anyway. All right, let's throw a couple of these on for my Sagittarians out there. There's communications. There's very, very important words and communications that need to be spoken. But Sagittarius, you got to let your guard down because you're a little bit defensive to it. You're not always open to the idea of communicating with this person or collaborating with them. I just keep getting there's some bad blood with someone. But I'm also getting that they're waiting for you. Yeah. They're waiting. Yeah. And they're being presented as the lover too. A judgment, a rebirth of something from the past, right? Calling out what you thought was dead and buried. Again, my musicians out there, look at you. This person's waiting because they love you. Oh, Sagittarius, that's the cutest. They want your attention. Strength, everything you've experienced in your life has made you strong and courageous. So shout out to the Leo gang. Patience, polish your skills by practicing regularly. Yep, 8 of Pentacles. Again, a lot of musicians out there, or something, singers, dancers, something with music. And flowers, working with flowers opens your heart and brings blessings to others through your life purpose. My Sagittarians with a green thumb out there. You did actually have a lot of flowers in your spread here. I saw that, yeah, several times. Flowers, flower power, Sagittarius. All right, and last but not least, yours are always so long, Saggy. One of these cards for my Sages. For Sagittarius, what card? Well, dance with life. Stop, this is adorable. Do something to change your energy, Sagittarius. Look how fun that card is. Oh, I love it. All right, like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what resonates. See you guys very soon for more tarot. Bye, Sagittarius.